Now then, welcome back to another episode on the Hypermine Vanilla 1.9 server. How are you doing? I just broke something. I did just break something. Dang it, stupid intros. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? Okay, get it, put it there. Okay. Yeah, I've nearly finished the Parthenon quartz level, but I've got a lot more quartz that I've just had to go and fetch because I ran out. I ran short just towards the end. I got about 4 stacks of quartz, and it wasn't, well, 4 stacks of quartz ore. It wasn't quite enough to do the full thing. So there's a lot of quartz gone into this, and I've just spent the last couple of hours, really, searching through the nether, hunting around for quartz ore, and then coming back and building, and then going back out for some more. But this should be enough now. I think I've got enough. After that little run that I've just done, I think that's going to be enough. But it does bring me down to what I want to do this episode, because through all of the running around everywhere, going all the way over to the temple over there, where the portal is into the nether, and all that jazz, I realised that I want to have a more of a railroad, a more automated route. So I marked on a route a while ago. I marked on an ideal for a route anyway. Horsey, don't you stop being useful, but still. I need some quicker kind of get up and make a cup of coffee while it's moving kind of thing. Now this line here is where, this white line here, is the location of where it is in line with the temple. And that is supposed to be the entrance. This is supposed to be kind of the lower end of the city, and the city's supposed to sprawl up and around, all up and around here. But that's supposed to be the entrance to the city, as it were, or the main entrance to an area. There's kind of a nice area there. All I want to do is really get the railway track to come up to about here, I suppose. And then I can go to it and then go across quickly and easily. I think that's all I really need. We've got enough quartz now. So, yeah, I'm going to finish off this little build. The quartz on here is starting to look very good. I just need to finish this off. Need to finish off that end in particular. And then I'll be back and we'll do some construction of the railroad. Oh, doesn't it look good from over here? I like it. I like it a lot. I don't see the flags though. Well, the banners. I don't see the banners showing. They probably don't render in. Yeah, there they go. They start rendering in here. I put banners all the way around the edges, but it still looks good from a distance over there. I was just checking. Looks good from a distance still. That's the main thing. So, yeah, I've done all the way around the edges, and I've done the sides, and all of that kind of stuff. I've even done an internal building, as you can see. Not bad, eh? Not bad. Still got to decide where the stairs are going to go. This stairs is good. This stairs is good. That's good English. And inside, check it out. The beautiful patron hall. The Patreon hall is awesome. And I've got stairs here, but they don't go anywhere yet because that area is not secure. So I've left it like that. But we've gone all the way around the outside. We've got this stuff all the way around here showing up around the place. Let's have a little looky over there. Somewhere over there. Yep, this will do. Will it? No, this won't do at all. This is nowhere near where I wanted it to go. Let's see if I can parkour across. Yes. Okay. And have a jump up here. Yeah, look at that. Yep, I like it. It's the way it should be. It's the way I wanted it to be. And parkour over there. Yes. I like the parkours. Parkour course. Look at it. It's awesome, isn't it? I like. So, yeah, we've pretty much done with this. This part of the project is done. I do need to put the Patreons up, though. So, I need to get myself a suitable block to put the signs against. And, of course, because it is Patreon, it is pledging money. And money in this game is all about the emeralds. So, let's hope I've got some emeralds spare. No emeralds in there spare. I've got some emeralds in here spare. Yeah, 4 emerald blocks, and I've got 3 Patreons, so that'll be good. And let's put 3 iron blocks underneath them, as iron is not in short supply. I've only got 1 sign, though. how am I going to set this up? I've been thinking about it, and I was thinking about it while I was setting the hall up itself. How am I going to actually set my Patreons up? And then, once we've got that done, I want to go and start doing some more work over on the railroad. Over on the railroad. You can't quite see from here, but over there I've already made a start to bring it over to that bit. And that little mound there, it looks awesome, doesn't it? Strikes me as a sphinx or something. That'll look good. Alright, so we'll start here and then work around. Each time we get new Patreons, we'll add them into this. Oh man, I kind of want to just put these in the wall and build the whole wall out. I wonder what that's going to look like from the outside, though. I really hadn't thought this through that far. Let's see, that then distracts from the overall thing, doesn't it? Yeah. So, what about if I put them in the wall? Put my first 3 in the wall here. How's that going to look? And then each section can be another 3, because that should... Yeah, that should be in the middle of this. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. And then in the middle of these, yeah, and so on. Okay, so the first 3 Patreons that I have picked up so far. The Jumping Fox, who is already on the Patreon server and doing some wonderful builds on there. And then we've got Fat Chris, who is also already on the Patreon server, doing some awesome builds over there. Thank you, Chris. And over here we've got Michael. And I think, yes, you are, Dalkos. Actually, I'll put the other name in, Dalkos, because you are also already on the server. Awesome, and thank you very much. Okay, so this is the July, or no, this is June 2016 Patreons. There we go. Alright, and then I'll keep adding to the next groups as we go around each month. I'll put the emeralds in the middle, and then if there's more, if there's like 9, then I'll put different Patreon names around there, and so on and so on and so on. These Patreons are all on the Patreon server, so they all pledged a large amount, so I'm very, very grateful to them. Thank you very, very much. Right, so now back on to today's episode. I want to look for some more rails and some other little blocks that I might use on the way. I want to kind of make a colourful road, but I want it to be so that I can continually do it and it's not going to be a big hassle. So what do I have? Slime blocks, that's not quite what I wanted to see. We've got torches, we've got plenty of rails, so let's get the first couple of stacks of rails out. That'll do, yeah? And do I have... I don't really need the cactus, I should be okay without the cactus. We've got pumpkins, so I'll do some jack-o'-lanterns. That should work. And let's think about what colour of wool to put over the jack-o'-lanterns. And I'm going the wrong way for the wool. The wool is this way. Should really know that by now. I go into it often enough. Let's get some wool. What colour wool? I'm probably going to have sandstone, so yellow wool. Maybe yellow carpet over the top of the pumpkins. Yeah. Let's have yellow carpet above the pumpkins. And let's take all of this yellow carpet as spare. Or green. Or green. Yellow or green. Well, let's take both, just in case. Then we can make it up as we go along, as I normally do. That'll do nicely. Okay, I'll leave all the villagers to close all the doors behind me. They tend to do that. They tend to close all the doors behind me. And I'll jump out this way. And whee! There we go. Awesome. Sorted. It's nearly night time as well, but let's rush back over this way. For ages now, I've just been following the dirt. So the dirt has been kind of my breadcrumb trail that I've been following to get to and from. I pretty much know the way by now, but still. It would be nicer not to have to make this jump and run all the way through the desert. It also needs to be defensible against mobs because we'll be traveling at night sometimes. So I need to consider how to make it defensible at the same time as make it practical. And to do both is going to be slightly difficult. And yeah, so over here, I've changed things around again a little bit. This is like the third time I've changed things around over here. I keep changing where things are, and I'm not sure if Jan is going to be able to keep up, but hopefully. I've now set it, right, not based on the chunk boundaries, but based on the front door of Jan's place there, so she doesn't have to move a building all across one or anything. So the front door of the building there, and the front door of that building there, which then would lead onto the front door of whoever builds a building there, and also lead straight on to there, even as a bit of a crossroads. And I decided to use basic sandstone as the pathway. So virtually all the way down is just going to be sandstone. So that makes things nice and easy for me, all the way down there. And that little mound you can see just on the horizon is where we're heading directly into, which should be awesome because you go from one landmark to another, past some beautiful scenery, and this side, well, it's probably going to get wrecked because it's a sand desert for collecting sand for everybody. So I need to kind of secure it so that you can't see the devastation around the place, but at the same time I want it so that it looks pretty dang awesome. Cobblestone with this? No, cobblestone's not going to work with it, is it? No. I've got my rails, okay. And anything else I can see that may be of some use? Some stairs, yes. Okay, let's go and have a look. Right, so, building block-wise, what are we going to do? We've got acacia, we've got orange, we've got hardened clay, we've got all the sandstone varieties, we've got nether brick as well. The nether brick fences could be awesome. And we can throw in, let's put those away, we can throw in some acacia saplings hanging over the top of it as well. But as soon as we get out here, there are lots and lots of cactus. And the cactus, the blue of the water and the cactus and the sandstone all look very nice together. So I want to do something along the lines of that. But at the same time, let's get some of these sorted. Thank you. Get some smooth. At the same time, I need to lift it up and over places like this, or fill it in. Kind of have a river coming through. It doesn't quite join up over there to that river. It's kind of a dry bed, but it kind of wants to go over to here and into that area there. So we might want to open this up and make it an actual water-based area that people can row their boats under. Now, at the moment, that is not the case because I've got all this sand here. But as soon as I knock all this out, it should start forming water levels again. And people should be able to do whatever they want with a boat going through the area underneath the bridge. So it's only going to be a small bridge, but I thought we'd at least start the small bridge to get going. And it also gives me a load more sand and stuff as well, which I'm going to need none of at all because I've got so much desert around me. But that might mean that I need to raise this up slightly. So I'm thinking from this point here. I don't know why I've got this bit here. I think this is where the original extension was, but that put those two out of... They put them like in the corner when it was a larger square. So I had to make it smaller a little bit. I only want it to be this wide because I only want to put the rails on. One coming in and one going out, or whichever way around it is. So that's the rail side like that. But then the rails can go right up next to the pillars. And from the pillars, well, this kind of all needs just sort of letting the water in and through, doesn't it? So I might need to curve this a little bit and then do some kind of structure around it. Let's go with a bridge like this. We're not running out of sand, that's for sure. So we start with a structure like this, but then occasionally I want to actually put sand on top so that we can have cactus growing in amongst it. So yeah, I've got a little bit of planning to do, but let's start with this water section. So I like to go in threes. So 1, 2, 3 there, 1, 2, 3 there, 1, 2, 3 there, and then we're on the other side of the water. So that's good. We can do that, and there. I'll get a bucket and I'll correct the water flows soon enough. People can still get through the 3 wide gap in a boat, so they can still get through there easy enough. That's good. And we need to get rid of some of this. There we go. Alright, and then raise them all up a little bit coming over the top here. But the bridge is going to be slightly different to the actual run itself. So I don't want to spend too much time on the bridges just yet. I want to just put the bridges where I think the bridges should go, and then kind of figure out the rest of it. The double block, though, does strike me as okay. And if I do another double block here, then we're kind of going up like that. That'll look okay. And then the bridge has got a start and a finish. And I could bring up the bridge a little bit higher at certain places, like there and there and there, and take it up slightly. But I've got to consider that I'm using rails, so it's going to have to follow a set pattern going straight up. So with rails, I'm going to have to bring them in and then take them up as we go. Either like that, or take it down to the next level here, and then bring this level up. And then, yeah, just bring this level up a little bit so it goes over the top. Maybe even take that 1 block out there so that the rail going up is slightly obscured by that. Yeah, that might work. So take that one out. Make this secured like this. There we go. And then this section here would get knocked out to go higher. Yeah, that'll do. So that section there, so that means this section here gets knocked out. And where did that go? Smooth sandstone, there it is. Smooth sandstone there. Okay. So yeah, we could have the bridge higher up on this section and do some kind of curvature. And so people on boats can just come through this way, like that. That'll work. I like that. That does me nice. There we go. So just a little raise up and then a drop back down again. That'll do. I'll fill the rest of this in. And then build the road virtually in a straight line. But again, we've got a great big body of water coming up. So I need to lay all these bricks out now, all the sandstone out, and kind of give myself a feel of the area before I start making things bigger or smaller. Because as soon as I start doing the bridges, then I'm going to get bogged down in bridge work. And I don't really want to get bogged down in bridge work until the majority of the route is actually functioning. Once I've got a functioning route that has actually got rails on and power supply and all that kind of stuff, then I can start designing the way forwards and the bridges and all that in future episodes. But I just need to get started on it right now. And that looks okay. Yep. Let's just put those down there for now. Go and collect this cactus because I'll need those in the next part. And I'll build for a bit and be right back. Okay, well, days have passed. But now I've updated the map. There we go. It's not quite where I want it to end up just yet. I want it to end up a bit further. But the contours of the land start increasing. So I want to build out that area a little bit more before I start thinking about where the rail track is actually going to end. Do you mind not pushing me around? Oh, nearly slapped him then. Nearly slapped him. So yeah, I've done a few days worth of building up the rail track. Did a little stream yesterday. Only for an hour or so, but it was just yesterday while I was doing some prep work. And Soap the Great gave me some advice. And it was very well received advice as well, because check it out, we've got a bridge and all sorts going on here. I was there with most of the project. I'd got the build there most of the way, and then there was just something not right. And Soap said, well, why don't you bring the pillars in one block and have the rail overhanging? And I like it. It just adds that little bit extra depth to the whole build, and that works nicely for me. As you can see, there's green wool with slabs and acacia fences and all that kind of stuff, all just nicely set up. You had a little... this is like boarding station at the minute. I've already got a cart here. And I've been doing all of the rails, so the rails are all done. Quite costly with the rails, but we do have a witch farm, we have a gold farm, and we have an iron farm. So the only real thing is to add wood. And I've got a tree farm, so we're okay. We're sort of good with that. But let's take a little trip across it all the way to the other end. As you can see, we could just about catch the surroundings between the pillars. And that's enough. Then we've got the bridge over the big bit of water here, and this is still a big project. But for now, it's at the right height and right level, and I can just do some building of the bridge work, which would be good. And 1.9 rendering, a problem. But, okay, well, those chunks didn't render in for me. 1.9 fast render. Go on, do it. Do it, do it. Yes. Right, so at the minute there's no automatic station either. I think I will probably do something about it, or I might ask an expert to come and do something fancy. Because I'll probably just put a cactus and a dispenser set up just to automate the route. So as you get to here, hits a cactus, goes underneath, pops out on the other rail, ready to return journey. So there's only ever a cart on that side and a cart on this side at either end. And yeah, that should work. And that is it for now. That is all I've done. But it's taken me a few days worth of building to get this done. So it's quite pleasing to the eye though. We've got larger. Yes. It was, last you saw, around about this height that I was building out at. And I realised while I was in this little live stream that you couldn't walk underneath the bridge. So people coming from any other direction would have the bridge blocking their path. And especially people on horses who may be exploring or wandering around. This way, horses and people can walk and ride underneath the bridge in all shapes and sizes. And also with the water-based area, they can of course take boats through the waterways underneath the bridge as well. So I'm pleased overall. This first bridge, it's only a little bridge, but it's kind of got the extra few features. It's got the pure beams coming out here. I may take it a little bit higher, may do a little bit more to it, because there are half slabs on top there, but no half slabs here. So I might do something to raise that a little bit. And I want to mess around with the waterway to bring the waterway down, because, like I said before, the dry bed river over here just doesn't quite sit right. I kind of like a dry bed river, but I want to have it so that you can still get your boats through. So that it hooks up with that central area over there. Because this is an area that Jan's been using to manoeuvre her villagers up. She's been doing a lot of this. Bringing villagers up to her trading post area over here. And so this body of water goes up and around there and connects to the area I've got the sugarcane farm and the tree farm. It goes right past there, right past the Patreon monument. Right up that way to the other village that she's claimed the villagers in there of. And she brings the villagers down here and drops them off into here. And then transports them bit by bit over here, one by one, over to get them inside a little trading post. So that's all working out nicely. She also brings them up here, look, yeah. Lots of hassle with villagers to get them to move in the right places, but she's got stairs and steps and all that to try and position them and get them up here. But she does that on her episodes in her on her channel, so we'll watch that instead. Out here now, though, I've got to start thinking about this area, but I need to figure out where the train station itself is going to be as well, because at the minute I don't know whether to have a big train station or not. Maybe have a big train station along this section. Just, well, I say big, more long and thin, where you can select a few places and head off into different areas. Maybe this could be a little boat jetty, So you can get onto the river and either go up that way or out that way, depending on which way you want to go with a boat. And then there's the straight route over to the city, which we can just about see over in the distance there. Doesn't it look nice in the distance? Glad it's still rendered in. That's nice. Thank you, game. And then maybe over on this side of it, we could have another like track that goes off and out and around to some of the far off reaches of the desert, where people can start mining up all of the sand. I was also thinking of building a sand warehouse, potentially on this side. Build another big build over here as a sand warehouse. So all the sand that we get from all around the desert can get brought back here first and dumped, and then people can just arrive through there, come in, grab the sand that they want, maybe leave some monies as the expense of digging it all up is covered, then just wander off again. Instead of having to turn up, do loads of digging themselves, they can turn up, do a load of digging, put stuff in the chests in the storage, and then one day when they need it, they come back, grab it, and off they go again. Yeah, I think that's the idea. I think it's an okay idea. Whether or not it works out like that, or whether or not it's just my big storage for sand, I don't know. But I figured a big storage for sand up here, and just the small storage of building supplies over in my city would be ideal. And this is literally just the route to my city, so there's not many people that will need or want to come to my city for anything. But here is a good like hub, a port. Maybe some builds around the place will get done as well. Who knows? People might get some desert buildings around this area if I flatten it out and sort it out a little bit. And people can come over and do some of their own project work. But a lot of it, I've been considering how the desert's going to look and how to make it so that it's still appealing to the eye, but at the same time a resource that we can gather. Now, a lot of the place, especially around this area, has got the river in it. It's got some water base and some greenery on the side here, and some more water over here, of course. But then we kind of hit the real desert over that way, where there's hardly any sign of water whatsoever. And so that's kind of going to get dug out. But if we leave it like completely wasteland, like the bare rock and stuff showing instead of anything else. Hey, come back, come back, come back, come back. Come back. There we go. Thank you. Put you on there, ready. Yeah, see you later. Bye. Oh, she's gone just before I could say bye. Oh well. So yeah, we could have it so that it's literally all down to bare rock, almost like it's been stripped back completely, like these little sections here, big dips and holes in the ground, and then you come through to kind of a lush oasis city, because the work has been done to keep that looking nice as the biome, and people just don't touch my city. I think there's so much to do still. But I feel like I want to get the walls around this place done next. So bring a wall up around here. Looking at this kind of the terraforming of this area. See, we go up here. That's why I stopped with the rail track already. But I do want to do some great big palace build sometime around here, maybe. And this seems like a good place to do it, even though it's only really a couple of mounds of sand, and that's soon going to be taken down. It's kind of close enough to my little city over there. Expand out my city into a large area here, which could be kind of my home, my actual home, built in this section. Then the rail track comes straight to the start of like my entrance to my home, and then from my home we go into the rest of the city. So I'm thinking of building a wall sort of around that area. So around here, cutting across, around here, possibly getting rid of that water altogether, or maybe building a little oasis town around it, that kind of thing. And then just having blasted wasteland all the way out to the north. There's tons of desert to the north there. Everything people need stock-wise to get all the sand that they want. But that is all we've got time for today's episode. I've recorded this over the course of a couple of days of lots of diggy and lots of placing blocks and lots of hard work. But I think the end result is a payoff. So, thank you all very, very much for watching. another episode on the Hypermine Vanilla 1.9.4 server. We may soon be going to 1.10. It has now been released. We always like to leave it a week or so before we update, just so those basic bugs and patches get taken out. But we'll have a load of new things and new blocks and new stuff to do as well. I don't think I'm going to leave this project to go and make a polar bear project somewhere, but you never know. I might just go and have a look to see where they are and all that kind of stuff. But for right now, this is where we're at. Thank you very much for watching. If you are a Patreon, thank you very much for being a patron. I will join you on the Patreon server very soon. I've been there quite a lot. Been playing around a lot. But I'll be on there as soon as I finish this episode. And we will be accepting more Patreon server whitelisted members if you care to join. If you care to pledge me some of your monies, then I will reward with a place on the Patreon server. Until next time though, thank you very, very much for watching another episode of the Hypermine 1.9.4 server. I have already said that before, but thank you and goodbye.